So for lab 3, you're going to be creating your first class in Java. And remember, your classes are like templates. You'll have variables in your class and you'll have methods in your class. Okay. And I'm going to show you how to create the class, how to create the file, and create the classes themselves, and add these methods in there. And it'll be up to you to fill in what these methods are trying to do. And I'll give you a couple of examples. Your homework will follow the same logic, same kind of scheme. So once you do the lab, you should have a strong understanding of how to do the homework as well. Any questions before I get started? All right. All right, so the first thing, of course, is to create a new project. And let me put on the mouse. Create a new project, Java with Maven, Java application. I'm going to call this lab 3. Remember, no spaces. So over here, you have your source packages. Right now, it's empty. Okay. So what I want to do is just right click, new Java class. Do not create Java main class. You don't need a main yet. You just need to create a Java class. All right, and I'm going to name this, according to the lab document, we are creating an automobile class. So I'm going to name it automobile. All right. So I have my automobile class. If you notice, this class has 3 variables: make, model, and number of doors. So what you want to do is add those variables in there. String make, string model, int number of doors. All right. They turn green, and that's because they are something called class variables, which we'll talk about on Monday, but they have visibility inside this entire class. All right. Everybody with me so far? Good.
I mean, it kind of breaks in and out for me at least. So
It's been up a lot. I can't really, it's like you're breaking up.
I'm breaking up. Well, I'll tell you all right now, I think all of you all are on campus, and I'm looking at your network connection, and every single one of yours is red. So I think it might be on your end. It might be on my end, but if it's on my end, there's not much I can do. And if it's on your end, there's not much I can do either. What I can tell you is I'm going to upload this to Moodle, the video for this. So you'll be able to see, and the recording should be, fairly good. So that when you all look at it on Moodle, you'll be able to follow along. All right, so what you need next are all of these methods. All right, so I'm going to create these first 3 methods for you, and then you'll have to finish off the remainder of these methods. All right. So the first one is called a constructor. It's the method that is called when you instantiate an object or you create an object. Any code you have inside that constructor is then ran. So I'm going to create the first constructor. And the way you create a constructor is you do public and then the name of your class, so automobile. And it has 3 parameters: string make, string model, int number of doors. And those parameters are something that whoever is creating your object can pass in when they create your object. So for example, I'm creating a Mustang. I would pass in automobile Mustang equals new automobile Ford Mustang 2. And so for this object, I want to set those class variables equal to those parameters. So this dot make equals model. This dot make equals make. This dot model equals model. This dot number of doors equals number of doors. So what I've done is I've set the class variables equal to the parameters that are passed in. And this should be a string. All right, so I'm giving you all that method. You'll do something similar for your assignment as well. All right. The next method is the get make and set make. And if you see what these methods do, this one just returns the make. This one just sets the make to whatever is passed in. All right. So I'm going to write those two methods for you. And then you'll be responsible for writing get model, get number of doors, set number of doors. But these methods will follow the same logic as the get make and set make methods. All right. And then finally, I give you the toString method. So just copy and paste this into your code. So let's create the get make, public. And then what type of variable is make? It's a string. So I want to return a string, get make. And all I'm doing is return this dot make. Okay, and on Monday, I'll explain what this keyword means. It just means it's referring to whatever object we're in. And then we have public void set make, string new make. And I'm just going to set this dot make equals new make. All right. So then you all will be responsible for writing the public string get model and then fill in the code for that. Public void set model, and I think it's string new model. Fill in the code for that. Again, the code should look very similar to this up here, except you're using the model variable instead. You'll have public int get number of doors. Fill in the code for that method. And public void set number of doors int new number of doors. And then you'll fill in the code for that as well. So you all are responsible for doing these four methods right here. And again, I gave you the toString method. So I'm just going to copy and paste that over here. And for some reason, it doesn't like double quotations when you copy them. So you're going to have to fix those. And this will be essentially your lab doing these four methods. And your homework, again, will follow the same logic. Except you have to do a little bit of calculation inside one of the methods. And I'll talk about that at the end of class. And when you're ready to submit your project, what you'll do is navigate to your project in your file system, whether you be on Mac or Windows. Click on it, or Linux, right click. This is for Windows, right click. Go down to send to compress zip folder. And it zips up your entire project. And then you'll upload this to Moodle, the zip file. I have a video on Moodle that describes this process as well, how to submit your assignments, your projects on Moodle. So that's basically the steps that you'll take to do it. Once you finish, right click, send to compress zip, and then upload this zip file.